Hi, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. Today, we're going to be going through my March planner flip through, and I have 3 different planners that we're going to look at this month. Or actually, I think we're going to look at 4. So let me grab some coffee. The first thing we're going to look at is my health and fitness planner for the month of March. Now, if you watched the February planner flip through, you know that February did not go well at all. February, I literally did nothing, and I had an incident on my finger, and if you're a fountain person, you know. March went a little bit better. Stuff actually happened. So my goals were get back into the habit of daily movement. I didn't make it daily, but I did do much better. Focus on eating nutritious meals. I've done well with that. Drink lots of water. It's a work in progress. Most days I do well with it. And meditate for mental health. This I have not done. That's something I still need to work on adding in. Now, the big thing though is I did move. As you can see, I walked. I worked in the garden. I moved my hydrangea bushes and planted some bush cherry trees. I walked. This was Ash Wednesday and I was fasting, so I did not work out that day. And then I really didn't feel well the next 2 days. And my roommate was really not well. And I think we picked up a little stomach bug. I wasn't super sick. I could still work and everything, but it's one of those where your stomach just feels a little off. You're not super nauseous or anything. It just doesn't feel right. Then I cleaned up the backyard and built the Vigo bed this day. Over here, I had a big flare day, so did not do anything. I did though walk a little bit, just easy walking on the 13th, and I did some chair yoga, which was surprisingly pleasant. I kind of liked it. I'm going to try to do more of that. Then as we come over here, it does start to kind of fall off again. This also coincides with doctor's appointments. So I walked. This day, I decided not to work at a coffee shop, and instead I went to a local park and I walked a couple of miles. Then I worked in the garden this day as well, and according to my Garmin, I got 246 intensity minutes. So there was a lot of gardening happening that day. I did lots of weeding, tons of weeding. Then on the 28th, I went to the gym. And that's what I did for the month of March in here. But I'm pleased because it's considerably better than the month of April. Okay, up next, this is what I'm calling my cancer journal for my breast cancer. This Coffee Monsters Co. sticker under construction was so cute. I just added the word D to it. Let me zoom you in so you can see a little bit better. So yeah, under D construction. So as we look at this, I started out just by every question that I could possibly have for my surgeon, I wrote down and gave plenty of space, and obviously I didn't need all of that. Then over here is where I'm starting more questions. So I had questions for my nurse advocate, questions for my plastic surgeon, which I opted not to go with reconstruction. So he's gone for now. And then pre-op questions for my appointment, which is actually later today. And I just remembered there's one I need to add on here. And my brain is forgetting what it's supposed. Oh, oncologist. I do not yet have an oncologist, and I need to ask my surgeon when I'm going to get one. So there's still plenty of pages left in this book, so I think this is going to be the little journal that I keep throughout this process. But yeah, I had to add a little humor to it under deconstruction. Okay, now the other one we're going to look at, the other tiny one, if I can find it, it's supposed to be in here. Oh, it's over here. Never mind. Okay, got it. This is the one, you guys have seen it before. This is the one I did upside down without thinking. So this is my upside down notebook. And for the month of March, I put some stuff in here that I had to do, and I actually did this, so I can check that off. I did some long form content. I did that one and that one. So I got most of it done. I did finish the ad reels. I still haven't cleaned out my closet. I got one of my green stock planters done. So not too bad overall. And then I don't have a page for April yet because I don't know what it's going to look like with surgery, but I did do a pre-surgery page. And this is not blood. This is another incident with red fountain pen ink. But I know that I'm filming the planner flip through right now, so I'm good to go there. Some of these may be pushed off a little bit. I've got lots to edit, stuff to upload. I did get that done. Thumbnails to make, videos to schedule, TikToks and Reels, and ads. Ads are done. So little by little, we're marking this off, which is good because my surgery is 1 week from today. So I still have a lot of stuff to get done in here. But I'm loving this just to have a little monthly to-do list. And this, the reason I was looking for it in here is typically it just lives inside this pocket. But I've been having it out using it. So now let's go to the Hobonichi. I've got to get some of these papers out of here. Move the candle out of the way before I burn the house down. Let's get you guys situated here. Get the camera to stop moving. Okay, so I filmed this whole setup, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. But over in my to-dos, I was very successful. I think I got my taxes done. I did my training for creative SEO. I set up my email sequence. I filmed reels. Home-wise, I did not clean out my closet yet. That's on today's list. I have not prepped my room for surgery, but I did go thrifting. I've got a meal train set up, and I've applied for financial aid with the hospital to hopefully help lessen my hospital bills a little bit. And out of the currently reading, I'm still working on the Interior Castle and All the Dangerous Things. I think I'll finish All the Dangerous Things this week. The Interior Castle, if you have read any of Teresa of Avila, you'll know that she talks in circles. And this is going to take me a while to get through, even though it's not a very big book. I did, however, finish the book You Deserve Good Gelato, which I loved. It was so cute. It was about a woman's move to Italy. I finished You're a Badass at Making Money. And if you've never read that book, I encourage it. It really makes you think about money in a different way. And then I read Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone. And I almost quit reading this book in the first chapter, but it became one of my favorites. I think it's the highest rated book I've read this year. So I'll put links to those in the descriptions in case that's something that you want to check out. Now let's go over here to my weekly spreads. I know you've seen a lot of these. This one I was using up more of a more of a Shine Sticker Studio kit, and I love this. I think this was the first time I used the kit. I just love these colors, the pale pinks and stuff. I'm doing really great through here with Gratitude. I tend to fall off on Saturday and Sunday just because I don't tend to gravitate towards the weekly section of my planner on those days. And I've got a pretty decent work balance here. Some longer days, like 9 hours, but then some shorter days, like 4 hours. And that's what I'm trying to go for. I know there's 2 long days every week, and my goal is to make some of the other days a little shorter. Okay. Then, next page, I was using more of that kit, and I paired it with these cute Coffee Monsters Co. This one is like desserts, and this one's baking. And I thought that went really well with the donuts and coffee. I love this pink pen. Well, it's the Lamy Safari pen, but the pink ink, the Diamine Hope pink. I'll put those in the description too, in case that's something you're interested in. But yeah, I love the spread. I just think it's so pretty and pastel, but still bright. Okay, and then St. Patrick's Day week hit, and the end of March was tough. As you can see, no gratitude whatsoever. I did not track my work hours whatsoever. I basically just dealt with all of this. And I'll get into this in the daily spreads, but I had the plastic surgeon appointment this day, and I was so upset after that appointment. Not because of the plastic surgery, but then my surgery finally got scheduled on Wednesday. And that made me happy, but then overwhelmed because so much to do. And as you can see, I didn't really do anything on Saturday, just so tired, just slept. And I've been napping so much lately. And then the last spread of March, I loved this spread. I love the browns. I love this washi tape. Both of these are from the Coffee Monsters Co. And I want to say both of these came in the last subscription box. I didn't have a full box to put here, so I used this old full box from Chrissy Ann Designs, just from some old kits I had, and put an emoji sticker on it. And these little stickers came from one of the very first subscription. I've just had them hanging out and I never used them. And I just basically took a bunch of stuff I had and put it together. I did decent when it came to work tracking until Friday when I ended up taking a big nap. But once again, no gratitude. Not that I didn't have gratitude, I just didn't write it down because this week was insane. Now, let's go over to the month of March here. So for my March dashboard, I did a Lent tracker, and I'm coloring in this purple color the days I read the Interior Castle by Teresa of Avila, and then the darker purple are the days I go to Stations of the Cross. I am a little bit behind. We are currently here, and all of these can be colored this purple color. I just haven't done it yet. And I'm going to go to Stations of the Cross tomorrow. But after that, I have surgery here, so I won't be able to do the rest of Lent. I will be Lenting from home. So I'm giving up the end of Lent and Easter for Lent. Okay, over here. Happy Mail. I got my Coffee Monsters Co. subscription this day, and I loved it. These washies were so cute. I love this. You know, you're doing great. I'm proud of you. Just try your best. I love this kind of, I don't even know what it is. It's like brainstorm washi, I guess. The in progress stickers and this cute little vertical. I love that she's releasing this vertical washi. Then, this was kind of a meh day. I didn't really sleep that well. I did do some planting and moving the hydrangeas and stuff, but it was a struggle. And we had some super ripe bananas, and I decided I wanted to make banana bread. And it was late at night. Every banana bread recipe I could find was like, you've got to whip the butter and you have to do this. I was like, no, I want a simple banana bread recipe. And then I found one called Dad's Banana Bread. And I didn't put Dad's banana bread because I did tweak it a little bit. But this banana bread literally came together in one bowl and took no time to make. It was so easy. So I'll put that in the description too if that's something you want to try out. But it was delicious. It was moist. It uses oil instead of butter. So it was great. Okay, March 3rd. I just put this in and put my brain because that is how my brain has been feeling. I went to bed at 8:15 that night. I was so tired, and I put that I had a dream where a doctor basically told me to slow down. And I was going to take that as a time to make time for exercise and to narrow my work focus a little bit more. And then I had just an emotional day, a down day, because I heard back about my genetic testing. And my genetic testing came back that it was negative for the BRCA gene. Now, most people would be excited about this. And I kind of was. I'm relieved that I don't have the BRCA gene. That means I'm less likely to get uterine cancer. But this meant that deciding whether to have a unilateral mastectomy where I only remove one breast or a bilateral where I remove both was truly my decision. Because if I had tested positive for the BRCA gene, it was the no-go. They both had to go. And this just stressed me out so much because now I had a decision to make. And I did not want to make that decision. I ended up going with the bilateral mastectomy. I am having a double mastectomy. just for my peace of mind. I know what the statistics say, but as not the breast surgeon, the plastic surgeon said to me when I met with him, statistics are 100% when they happen to you. And this will give me peace of mind. And if I have the bilateral mastectomy now, I know with 100% certainty I will never have to have another mastectomy. And I just don't want to go through this again. Plus, it'll make me symmetrical and I don't have to do reconstruction. So, super struggling. I'm struggling here too. I was hoping to get a good night's sleep. I'm hoping a good night's sleep would improve my mood, but unfortunately, it did not help. So yeah, I was, at this point, I was being super over emotional and like having these extreme emotional reactions to the tiniest little thing. And I kept telling myself, these are irrational reactions, but there was a very rational reason why you're having irrational reactions. And I just worked through it, and luckily it got better. So then we got to Ash Wednesday, and I love this. I did this with a stamp, one of those little teardrop shaped stamps, and it looks like real ashes. That made me happy. But as you can see, I did not do much writing because I was still in a mood. I did get these new stencils that are super cute, and I was just playing around with them. My roommate had bought a 2-pack of bullet journals, and each one came with a set of stencils, so she gave me one. And I put my nurse advocate called to check in today and reminded me this is all my choice, because everybody has an opinion. Like, everybody has an opinion when you're facing a big decision. And I still was not in a good mental place here. So, the beginning of Lent, and I started the beginning of The Interior Castle by Teresa of Avila. And I drew a snow globe with castles here because in the very beginning of that book, that's what she describes this as. Like, her vision was a snow globe with all of these castles inside. So I went ahead and drew that in. I was playing with the stencils for the weather. I wrote in our meal plan for the week and my to-do list. Now, I didn't cross anything off, which tells me I never went back to this page that day because I know I did this stuff. I just didn't cross it off. Okay, then we get to Friday, and I was so relieved for it to be Friday. I sent the financial aid application in, which that was a whole other thing. It said to mail or fax, so I faxed it. It's going to be faster. And then a few weeks later, I called to check on it, and they had not received it because they don't accept faxed applications, only mailed. So I had to rush to the post office. I did set my Q2 goals here, though, and I've already done a video on that, but it's to hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and start earning at least $100 a month. So if you are watching this and you enjoy it, you've not subscribed yet, please do. That would be really greatly appreciated. And if you are subscribed and you know someone else who might enjoy my channel, share it. I want to grow my email list to 300, 500, or 1,000 using ads and Instagram engagement. That's actually going really well so far. And I want to launch my podcast and get 12 episodes up. The great news is I have audio for 12 episodes ready. I just have to edit it a little bit and get it up. So that's probably going to happen in April. And we didn't plan super well for Lent. This was the first Friday of Lent, and we can't eat meat, and we didn't have anything in the house. So I went to Dollar General and I bought a box of fish sticks. Like, that is literally, we had fish sticks and French fries for dinner. Not healthy, but it worked. Okay, over here, Saturday. This is the day I put together my green stalk planter, the new one, in these 2 smaller planters, and I just doodled them. And I did a vlog on this, so you've probably already seen that. And this was the very first reading of the Interior Castles. So I did the First Mansions, Chapter 1, and just some notes over it. And then continuing, this was the Spring Forward, and Spring Forward just got me. It was rough this year, and you'll see that by the lack of writing. But I did write on the Interior Castle Chapter 2 here, so you'll see like little blurbs like this throughout the rest of the month. So not a lot going on here. It was my first day working post daylight savings, and it was definitely rough. Over here, more on the interior castles. And then here, I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm having a flare. My face is itchy and on fire this morning. And it was a flare. It was not a super bad flare. I actually managed to get it under control before it got bad by allowing myself time to rest. But as you can see, I didn't do much at all that week. That day, I rested, which is what I needed. So that's okay. I'm lucky in that I'm self-employed, so I can do that when I need to. Okay, over here, we were watching basketball. Texas Tech beat Baylor, but just barely. And I went to graduate school at Texas Tech, so I do have to cheer for them when they're playing. I played out my March favorites video, and then I did a master class on visibility, and my friend Madison taught it, Madison Tinder, and she talked about all this stuff with TikTok, and I thought it was great, and I took lots of notes, and I'm doing a little bit of a TikTok challenge. I'm trying to post to my TikTok every single day for at least a month, and I'm trying to stay consistent Monday through Friday for the long term. Now, I know TikTok's up in the air. Who's going to own it? Is it going to exist? But I think it probably will. And then on Friday, I met with my dietitian, and we talked about my sweet tooth and how I've been leaning towards sugar with all the stress. And she gave me some ideas for desserts that aren't so bad. She recommended the Sweet Loren's cookies, and these have been a game changer for me. One, they're rich and delicious. I don't need gluten-free, but they're so good. And the great thing about these, really any cookie that are the break and bake, I can just bake 1 or 2 of them at a time and keep the rest in the fridge. And that helps me with portion control. Who are we kidding? It's usually 2. But the Sweet Loren's have a little less sugar than the other brands. So that was nice. She also suggested that I buy the little individual cups of Bluebell to keep portions in check, which is something I plan on doing. Okay. This was a rainy day. Clearly, all I did was write about the interior castle. It was a Saturday. I did a little bit of editing because I had slept so much the day before. But yeah, I didn't do much at all. And then Sunday was a just day. Basically, for young ears, get your crap together day. And my aunt called me that morning before 7, and she was just distraught because she could not get in touch with my mom. And my mom lives alone, and she doesn't get around that great, but she's doing okay. She's living her best life. She goes to the pool and does her water aerobics almost 7 days a week. And she could not get in touch with her. So I called my cousin because my mom lives an hour and 10 minutes away from me. And my cousin lives in the same town, and she drove over to check on her. And my mom her phone had died and she had lost it and couldn't find it. So it was kind of a big laugh. That didn't surprise me at all, but did not do a lot that day as well in here. And then St. Patrick's Day. What do I have here? I have a lot going on this week, but I'm trying to take a relaxed attitude about it. Well, that changed. I taught lessons and edited 6 new reels to test out for ad use. The new strawberry plants came in, and I got those planted. So I was busy doing other stuff, so I didn't write. Then this was my epic angry day. I have it here. I went to the plastic surgeon, who was amazing. Talked me through everything. I was like, yep, I don't want to do reconstruction. He's like, great, no problem. He went ahead and took some measurements in case I changed my mind down the road. He has an idea of what things look like before so that he can reconstruct what I have. And then I called my surgeon's scheduler, because that's what she told me. She told me surgery would be 2 weeks out. And I call her, and she tells me she can't give me a surgery date until she talks to my surgeon to look at her schedule. Now, this is my surgeon's scheduler. And then she told me surgery would be at least 6 weeks out. And I was like, wait a minute, last week you told me it was going to be 2 weeks out. And she's like, well, things have changed. More people have gotten cancer since then. And she's like, but somebody might cancel. I was livid. I was angry. I went to teach my church class. Well, not teach, just to set it up. Someone else was teaching, and the guy that team teaches was with me. I think I talked about this already. He sent me home. He's like, "Go home. You need to rest. You don't need to be here." And I did. I happily went home. Then the next day, the surgery scheduler called me back and said, "I have great news. The surgeon wants to prioritize your surgery. So it's now April 10th. So it went from 6 weeks out to 3 weeks out. So that made me so happy, but it also totally stressed me out because now I have 3 weeks to prep for surgery. This whole thing has been an emotional roller coaster. So over here, you can see I got kind of a lot done. I did not write a lot. And over here, just more journaling on the interior castle. Kind of same things here. This was the day that I got my nail polish off. And I am missing it. My poor nails are tearing and breaking. The reason I do gel polish is because my nails are so weak in general. They tear and they break like all the way down here, and they hurt. And the gel just makes them strong enough to not do that. That's why I started doing gel in the first place. And then, today was a rough day. This was emotionally, hormonally, everything. I think most of my audience is women, so you'll get it. I got my period this day, and it was literally 2 weeks after my last period. And I'm like, excuse me? This is not okay. But yeah, it was not a good day. Over here, I got the sweetest email from the choir director at my church asking if she could set up a meal train for me. And she also included a couple of prayers to Saint Peregrine, who is the patron saint of cancer. And I just thought that was nice, and I just wrote them in here. And then over here, we decided to do a big pre-surgery planning session. So I've got to clean out my closet, clean off my nightstand. Those still aren't done. Wash sheets, blankets, pillowcases, set up babysitters for me because my roommate won't let me be along. I've made plans for somebody to bring me communion for Easter. Oh my gosh, there's just so much stuff here that we need to do. So yeah. Over here, this day, I did this online pain class with my roommate. She does these classes through the Osher Center for Integrative Medicine, and she has chronic pain. And this one, family was allowed to come, so I watched it, and it was actually really helpful. It told me that my stress level is still very, very high, and I need to reduce it quite a bit. So I made a list of self-soothing actions during that class. So get outside, make tea or coffee, wear perfume, take an everything shower, read something fun, go for a walk, doodle, and just breathe. And I need to flag this page and revisit it every day these days. Okay. Over here, I started coming up with a sales strategy for my $7 swipe file, my Instagram SEO secret swipe file. I'll link that below too. If that's something you're interested in, it helps with visibility on Instagram. So especially if you're an entrepreneur or a solopreneur, it's really helpful. One person that I've worked with, she tweaked one thing in her bio and started booking appointments. It was great. And it was just using the same strategy that I've taken from what I do online with Google and adapting it to Instagram. Okay, I was a busy bee this day. I did the interior castle journaling again. I had a lot of stuff. And then I went to confession. And if you're new here, I'm Catholic. If you haven't figured that out from what we're talking about. I went to confession, and the priest gave me a penance of praying the Memorare. And I don't go to this prayer very often. And it was just so gorgeous, and it fit so well. And it just made my heart happy. So I wrote it out in here because I want to come back to it more often. Okay, and then Friday, super crazy stress dreams last night, but we did go to the gym, and that was nice, and I did some journaling. Okay, I started kind of planning out because the next week is spring break for me. I'm on spring break right now, and I was trying to plan out how I'm going to get ahead. I did some journaling on the interior castle. And then the same thing here, just more journaling on the interior castle. And then I just wrote out some questions. I did an interview, which is going to come out on this channel with a podcast pitch specialist. And it's going to come out later in April. And these were just some of the questions I was going to ask her. Oh, and overnight, we had a tornado warning and ended up in our safe space, which is my bathroom, the master bathroom, from 12:30 to 1:30 in the morning. Me, my roommate, our dog, and our cat. And needless to say, I was exhausted this day. And then my theme for April is going to be rest is productive. All right, so that's it for the month of March. I hope you didn't... I can't talk today. I hope you've enjoyed this planner flip through, and by the time the next video comes out after this one, I will have had surgery. So until next time, peace out.